Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to share with you a little bit of my yoga practice. I hope this is working because I've never done one of these before. I just want to say a few things before we start. I am clearly a bit nervous. My heart's pounding through my chest. So hopefully yoga practice should calm any nerves. It should clear our headspace. I've had a bit of a manic morning this morning I've got a little one, I have to rush around, I have to get up early every morning and sort of be go. So I know that a lot of people have got a lot of free time. I unfortunately, don't get a lot of time to just sit and chill. So hopefully, all together, my nerves will calm down and we can zone out together, forget everything that's going on in the world. And if you do practice yoga, I would love for you to join in with me. If you don't, this is quite a simple sequence. There are a few things you have to think about. I'm just going to take a sip of water. And there are a few things you have to think about when practicing yoga. Your practice should never hurt. So if you are going to join in and you don't do yoga, even if you do yoga, these should never hurt. You will feel like your body is opening. You will feel stretching. You will feel release, hopefully, but you should never feel pain. I'm not a yoga teacher. I practice regularly. This is a yoga practice. So you know your own body. I obviously can't see any of you there. So if you are going to join in, please be conscious of your space. I'm lucky I've got a lot of space around me. Also, if you've got any injuries, watch your back because your spine, there'll be a lot of spine openings, twistings. Hopefully you'll get a bit of strength there. But if you do already have pre-existing injuries, either do not join in the poses if you think your body can't take them. Please do watch my exercises first if you've never practiced them before, so you get an understanding of what the movement should look like and how the alignment should be. And if you do experience any pain, come completely away from the posture. Like I said, I can't see you as much as I'd love to see you because it would probably make me feel less nervous doing this all to a phone screen. What else is there to mention? At 11 o'clock, before I forget, 11 o'clock in the UK, we are doing a minute silence for those that have unfortunately lost their lives due to COVID. I'm going to try and obviously not talk about that because we're trying to have a moment to ourselves and not think about those things. But I will try and remember at 11, I'll try and fit it into my sequence so we can just take a minute, show our gratitude, our appreciation, and our respect for those. So if you are ready, please remove socks, necklaces. If you have long hair, tie it up. I hope you're in comfortable clothing if you're going to do this with me. My heart rate's gone down a little bit. So maybe we can all just take a second. I've probably gone on a bit of a tangent to try and get the nerves out the way. I'm feeling a little bit better. I hope that you're all feeling good. Just so we get an overview of what I'm doing today, we're going to go through the sun salutation. You have the option to take it really gentle, really easy. If you already practice yoga, then brilliant. It's sometimes really good to strip back down to the basics and go through your postures. I think it's so easy. I do it. I get lazy and I just go into a posture without really thinking about what my body is doing because I know this posture. So we're going to take it right back to the beginning and then you have the option to build up. As I've said before, please do not force your body. I have been doing yoga for a bit of a long time. I'm by no means an unbelievable yogi. I do practice. I have dance background. I will show you what postures might look like and maybe what they could look like. But it's a non-judgmental thing, yoga. It should be connecting the mind, the body, taking a moment. I'm so glad my heart rate slowed down a bit. And just seeing what you can open up. We're locked in our houses at the minute, which is it's quite daunting. The idea of this yoga practice is to find space within yourself so that you don't feel trapped in, find some space within your body so that you feel a bit more uplifted. So, if everyone is ready, I think I have covered the main points. We're going to get started. Disclaimer, I have a yoga mat over here. It's mainly so that I know where I can be seen. However, it is on a very soft, shiny carpet. So if I fall over, please feel free to laugh. If you fall over, I hope you don't hurt yourself. It's okay to fall out of postures. It's okay to get it wrong. It's about trying to see where your limits are. See if you can push yourself. See if you can do something that you don't normally do. So if everyone is sock-free, in comfortable clothing, this is an example of what my practice may look like. So we'll actually take a second. Come to seated, cross-legged if that's available to you. Get nice and comfortable, and I'm going to take a minute for myself just to breathe, to settle the breath. It is so important to listen to your breath when you're doing yoga. I struggle with anxiety, so as you can tell now, sometimes even before I go on stage, I am like, it is so helpful if you just take a second, eyes open, eyes closed, if that's comfortable to you, and just take a second to think about breathing into the belly down here and not up here, which is my tendency. I love to breathe into my chest, which is not useful to anyone. So if you just take a second and literally breathe in deep into the belly, and then breathe it out, all of the air out, all of that negative energy, all of that nervousness from me. Give yourself a bit of a shake. Hopefully the sun salutation will warm us all up. Let's go. So I would always start my practice with a sun salutation. If you've never done yoga before, I'm going to go through it. So you might want to watch the first time. If you already know your sun salutation, then feel free to join along. Think about taking it back and really thinking about alignment. So the first pose is a mountain pose, which is just standing. Such a simple thing to do, but you want to think about pushing your hips, rolling your hips, tucking them under a bit. So you've got a nice long spine, relaxing the arms to the side of you, pulling those shoulders down and away from your ears. Standing is so important and so basic. We do it all day long. Knowing how to stand properly and in a strong manner can be really useful. So you start off in your mountain pose. You're going to raise your arms up for your extended mountain pose. Now, when you raise your arms up, if you've never done yoga before, try not to lift the shoulders so that they're coming up to your ears. You want to try and create space in the body all through this practice. If you do lean back for the full extension, you want to make sure your hips are staying forward. So your arms are going to come up without you kind of going like this. You want to get as much space into the body. From here, you're going to breathe out and exhale to forward fold. Now remember, the first time you take any of your postures, you're not pushing to where your limits are. You're just allowing your body to open up. I'm going to look very interesting in the face throughout this, so enjoy. And just maybe pedaling through the feet a little bit, just slowly opening the body. From here, put our weight into our hands a little bit and step back into a plank. So when you're in a plank, you want to keep your core nice and engaged, nice and strong. Again, try not to be flaring out with your spine. Your ribs should be closed, so you want to be in a nice plank position. And then your Chaturanga. There are different variations of doing this, but I like to go straight through a plank. So you bend your elbows backwards, slowly into the ground, pushing the weight of the body forward. So all the way down. And then from here, we're going to take a baby cobra first. I hope you can all see me. So baby cobra, this is a lower back bend. You want to take the weight of the upper body, pushing back, facing forward, just gently easing your body into this. You might want to test your weight here by lifting your arms off the floor, so it's coming from the lower spine. And as you breathe out, lower down, and you're going to push yourself back into a downward dog. This is probably one of the best postures I find. it's nice just to change where the blood flow is going, get it back to the head. And in this first down dog, maybe pedal out through the feet. You want to think about lengthening the spine, so try not to curve. I have an awful habit of curving here. You want to think about pushing your bum all the way into the sky, pushing those shoulders back, trying to keep those ribs connected. I have no mirror, so I could be doing this terribly, but I'm trying for you guys. Then from this down dog, you're going to walk your hands back to your feet, to your forward fold. And then slowly, with a little bend in the knees, you're going to come back to your extended mountain pose and then take a nice breath out, hands into chest, just like this. So we're going to go through that maybe 3-4 times, see if we can open up the body a bit. So if you're ready, for a nice breath in, extended mountain pose. As you exhale, forward fold. I forgot to go through this. We're going to go through a halfway lift. This, you want to not be here. Extend the body out. So keeping that bum pushing towards the sky. And then you breathe out to fold again. Now you can jump or step back like I just did into a plank. Thinking about taking nice long breaths. And then Chaturanga down to the floor, pushing your body forward. And you can take a Cobra here. Keep those hips on the floor. Maybe if it's available to you, you can look up to the ceiling. And then when you're ready, push back into your down dog. Again, listening to the body, maybe you want to just give it a little roll out, pedal through the feet. Take a second of stillness here. And then look towards your hands, either jump or step between them into your forward fold. And then slowly rolling up the spine, head should come up last. Back into prayer. And we go again. Forward fold. Extending into a halfway lift. And fold. Jump or step back into plank. Slowly ease your body down. Chaturanga into a baby cobra. A cobra if that's available to you. And if you want, extending those legs, lifting the knees off the ground into your up dog. And breathe out back into your down dog. And step or jump the feet to your hands, forward fold. You should feel your body slowly opening now as the blood starts to move around the body. Making sure the head and the neck are relaxed. And slowly bending the knees, roll up. And hands into prayer. We'll do that one more time. So, arms up, extend. And as you release, breathe out, forward fold. Inhale. And breathe out, forward fold. Step or jump into plank. Chaturanga down. Push the body weight forward. Up dog, cobra. Looking to the ceiling if you can. And breathe out, release into down dog. Jump or step, hands to feet. Forward fold. Maybe if you want to take the elbows here, just release the body. Also, it's important for me to point out, not everyone can touch the floor, that's absolutely fine. Feel where your body can go to. If you can't touch the floor and you have a cushion nearby you, for next practice, I should have said this before, anything there that might help support the body weight, So don't feel like you have to be here. You can be here, you can be here, you can support your hands with your legs. Okay, maybe we'll take it one more time. Sorry if I didn't mention that before. So nice breath in. Breathe out to forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, forward fold. Step or jump into plank. Slowly chaturanga the body down into your up dog, cobra or baby cobra. Just testing out how that lower back feels. And then pushing back into your down dog. Step or jump, hands to feet. Forward fold, slowly bending the knees and stretching up, hands to chest. So those moves are a sun salutation. You should feel a bit more open. I feel a bit calmer. So the next thing we're going to do is a little warrior sequence. And I'm just going to check the time here. A warrior sequence is good for strength. It's good for lengthening. I'm just going to make a little point here before I start. A warrior 2, when I come to this position here, if you haven't done yoga or if you have, just to remember, this knee should always be tracking over this ankle. So you want to keep that leg really strong. You might have to make adjustments, especially if this is your first time doing it. I like to take mine nice and wide. This back foot here, it should be facing diagonally. So you want to turn it in slightly, and that's going to protect your knee, and it's going to open up your hips. So your hip should be tracing this way, and you want to, if you can, turn the body. Your aim is to turn the body so your body is facing this way, your hips are this way, your knee should be pushed back where it can be, and as low as you can do it. You might be up here, and that's completely fine. You might be a little bit, turn. The idea is to just see where your body is and encourage it to open a little bit more. So this is your warrior 2. Okay, so we're going to start by shuffling the mat back. Giving a nice forward fold and gently stepping back into your down dog. Just taking a second here. Seeing if you can encourage the body to ease up a little bit. You might want to take a dolphin if that's available to you. And then centering and settling the body again. So this time we're going to lift into a 3-legged dog. Lifting our right foot. When you come into a 3-legged dog, you want to think about your hips staying level and staying parallel to the floor. So not this, we're going to go into that in a second, but try and keep that right knee, that right hip, facing the mat. And then bending at the knee, you're going to open that hip up now. And then bring your right foot to your right hand, lifting the body slowly into your Crescent Lunge. So here, you want to not be here rounding the spine, you want to try and open the spine. Maybe you can look to the ceiling. So your back foot should be tucked under here. Just stay there for a second, keeping your focus, slowing down the breath. And from here, we're going to turn into that warrior 2 position. So you can take a second just to check the foot, check your knee. So we also want to think about pushing our hips, but keeping them open. And from here we're going to do, I'm going to check my little board over there. We're going to do a triangle. So this leg is going to straighten, and we're going to lean the body. You're going to think about length. So you're not going to try and do this straight away. You're going to think about keeping that nice and long. So you don't want your hand to be supporting the body. It might reach the floor. But you're going to think about length to keep you up, keep that core engaged, and maybe, if you can, you're going to look to your left hand. Rotate the body a little bit more if you can. Just take a few seconds Trying to push that right hip forward, that left hip back. And then slowly back into warrior two. From here, we're going to do a side stretch. So this is different. This knee is going to stay bent. So you want to maybe bring the arms up here and slowly lean to the right there. Hope I'm getting my left and right correct here. And maybe if you can, place the hand behind that foot just to give yourself a little bit more. And maybe looking up past your armpit. You should feel a nice stretch in the inner thigh here, but as I said before, it shouldn't be painful. No sharp shooting pains. Feel free to back off from postures. Being up here is also fine as long as you get the length. You can put your arm on your knee if you need just a bit more support. But just thinking about opening up that body. Come back into your warrior two. From here, we'll cartwheel the hands either side of that foot, turning that back foot back in, and push back into the lovely downward dog. Giving yourself a little bit of a break, maybe giving yourself a little bit of a wriggle, or if you need to stay completely still, if that's going to help your mind, then just stay and take a second. And we'll lift the left leg, three-legged dog. Remembering to keep those hips square if you can. And then bending from the knee, opening up that hip. Hello everyone. And then bringing the foot slowly between the hands, replacing the foot with the left hand, and then adjusting into your crescent high lunge. Just making sure there's a nice, think about your alignment, knee over ankle. You should be able to see your toes. If you can't, maybe give yourself a little bit of a wiggle. So your legs should feel a bit fired up now. Getting the blood flow all around the body. Slowly you're going to open up into that warrior two position. Just taking note that your back foot is tucked in diagonally. And that you're nice and low if you can get low. Remembering, being up here is absolutely fine. Wherever your body feels like it can go. And try and keep the spine upright here, so we don't want to lean either way. We want to think about it being nice and upright. So from here, you're going to straighten that left leg, lean the body out to come into your triangle pose, looking up towards the ceiling. Each side of the body feels completely different. My left hip is so much tighter than my right. So you just want to encourage it to open up a little bit. And from here, slowly back, bend that left leg into warrior two. Maybe looking over this left hand. So from here, arms up, we're going to do the side stretch. So even if your here is as far as it feels your body can go, stay here. Don't push it, don't force your body to do anything. If you can, you think about lengthening towards the wall or whatever your space is. Over to the left, lengthening out that body. Maybe reaching that floor with your left hand if you can, and turning the body. You might want to keep your practice, your arm long over the head. People practice differently, do what feels good within your own body. And slowly release back into warrior two. Taking a nice deep breath. Cartwheeling your hands to your left leg, stepping back and taking a nice down dog. Sometimes it's nice to come onto all fours here. Just give your spine a little bit of a cat and cow. So contracting the spine, extending the spine, looking up to the ceiling. Just a couple of rounds in your own time. because we're going to do that whole warrior sequence over again. Okay, so when you're ready, let me just check that time a second. We have 4 minutes. Okay, sorry. Let's all meet in down dog. If you are joining in with me, I hope you're feeling good. Just think about lengthening all the backs of the legs here. Seeing if there's any more space available to you. If not, that's fine. Then we're going to start by lifting that right leg again. And bending at the knee, opening up the hip. And gently, right foot in between, lifting the body into your crescent lunge. Maybe testing to see if your back wants to open your heart center to the sky, encouraging a bit more energy into your body. And then slowly coming into your warrior two. Checking your alignment, seeing if you can go a little deeper. And then extending that leg, leaning the body into a nice triangle. And then slowly back, bending that right leg into your warrior two. And then think about pulling from this hand here, pulling out into your side stretch, remember. Don't feel like you have to push it too far. It's quite strong on the legs here. Opening up those hips, lengthening out the whole of the left side. Try not to collapse too much in the right side. And then coming up to your warrior two, to cartwheel your hands back into your down dog. Lifting your left leg. Bending from the knee, opening up the hip. And then slowly, left foot to mat. And up into your high lunge. From here into your warrior two, remembering to keep that back foot turned in slightly, shifting the hips, keeping the spine straight, and then slowly straightening that left leg, leaning into your triangle. And slowly back into your warrior two. Lengthen towards that left hand. Into your side stretch. Remember, this front foot should be bent. Try not to collapse too much in the left side of the body. Using the knee to support if you need to. If not, try and engage that core to keep you upright. And then slowly back into your warrior two. And cartwheeling the hands back into your down dog. Okay. Slowly come out of this. I'm going to take a quick sip of water. I am going to try now and just remember to do a minute silence. So if everyone would like to, I know I'm a bit early, but am I a bit early or am I late at this point? I'm a minute late. So I'm just going to take a second whilst I have a water, just to show gratitude, appreciation for those lives that have been sadly lost to COVID, for the NHS workers and care workers. Take a minute and then we're going to practice some standing balances. Okay, I am going to practice some standing and balancing now. I hope if anyone is joining me, you've had a second to obviously have a think, catch your breath too. We're going to start with a wide leg forward fold. So you want to keep your legs nice and wide. The wider you go with your legs, the easier this posture is. If you're quite flexible, you might want to keep your knees, don't come any closer than your hips, but just give yourself a bit of space. You're going to take a nice breath in, breathing in light, breathing out dark, and you're going to slowly fold the body over. Don't push yourself in this posture. Support if you can, reach the floor. Sometimes you won't want to stay here. It's going to feel nice in the back of the legs. If it doesn't feel nice, please back away a little bit. If it is available to you, you want to think about length, and you want to think about the head reaching the floor, so you're not trying to hunch over and bring your head to your knees. You're trying to think about your head coming to the floor. Maybe wriggling the toes, giving them a little bit of a wiggle, realizing where the weight is in your feet. Creating some length in the spine. If you can, maybe grab the heels from the back. So from here, you're going to pivot towards the right foot. The right foot's going to turn 90 degrees. The back foot wants to turn 45. You might want to give yourself a shift. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to try and get that head to the knee. It's not very comfortable and it's not very attractive to look at, so I'm sorry if you're just watching. But you want to try and really flex that spine, contract that spine. Looking up to your navel, it feels a bit uncomfortable. Bit of a choky throat feeling, but pushing that head against the knee, it's really good for your digestive system. And it's going to help with the posture we're going to do in a second. Taking a few more sips of air. As you can tell, this is not my favourite posture. If you can't get the head on the knee, you might want to bend the knee a little bit until you can, or if you're leaning over. This is what your end goal is, it's not where you have to be. And just release. And slowly lean out to come back into standing. This time we're going to interlace our fingers behind our backs like this. Taking you a nice wide posture. You're going to start with doing nothing with the legs, nothing with the upper body, and just lifting those arms behind you. And slowly, You should be able to see, well, you might be able to see your arms. Using the weight of the hands to bring you down. You might be up here, you might be here. That's all completely fine. Go to where your body feels a nice opening. Thinking about the chest staying open, the shoulders staying away from the ears. Seeing if you can get any length in that back. Extending the spine, trying to get the head towards the floor. And then slowly coming back up the way you came. And breathing out to encourage the body back over. And then twisting to that left leg to do that lovely posture that I love so much. Standing head to knee. So important to practice postures that your body may not like, your mind might not like. Should feel a nice stretch in the spine. I can't really talk here, but it is so good for the body. So they tell me in every class I take. And then slowly release, maybe giving that leg a bend. I'm going to try some balancing postures now. I bet I look really nice. And with the balancing postures, can I just make sure that people are aware of their space? If there's anything sharp around you on the floor, either don't try it or move it. Balancing postures are really good for me. They really help my mind, my focus, which I struggle with when my mind starts racing, especially when I'm anxious. So I'm going to take, first of all, come to the back of your mat if you have one. If not, you need a nice long space in front of you. You're simply going, hands, I like to keep my hands in prayer here. You can keep them out if you've not practiced before. You might have a different practice for a warrior 3. You don't have to get, the aim of here is to get your upper body and your back leg, I'll show you in a second, in a T shape. So take a second to plant the weight into the left foot, lifting that leg, maybe testing so you know that your weight is in your left. You're going to take a nice step forward with the right foot, and as you do, you're going to pivot the body here, and you're just going to come into a nice T shape. I have no mirror. I'm so used to relying on mirrors here. I'm going to try and keep that right leg nice and strong. Think about that back leg pulling towards the back wall. A tug of war between your head and your back foot. Keeping that hip level. And step back onto your right foot. So we'll do this twice through. So you can test it out in the body and see where you go. And then maybe push the body the second time. So, nice breath in. Check the weights in the right leg. Step forward and pivot the body slowly. If you're here and that's where your balance is being tested, that's absolutely fine. If you can. And think about lengthening that spine. It shouldn't be curving over. It shouldn't be extending. It should be, if you can, parallel to the floor. I find it easy and find it helps me if I find one spot on the floor and focus on that when I'm doing my balancing postures. And step back. So we're going to try that again. I find the second time through with balancing postures are sometimes a lot easier, and sometimes for some reason they're harder. If that happens, that's absolutely fine. It's about focusing the mind, slowing down your thoughts, focusing on what the body's doing. So nice breath in, take a big step, and pivot. So if you're finding this quite challenging, stay here. If you do practice yoga or you're a dancer, I sometimes in my practice like to bring my hands to the floor and practice my standing split. I don't encourage people who aren't flexible or well balanced in their warrior 3 to practice. If you've come to the full expression, just bring your feet, maybe stretch out your back, and then everyone meet back at the back of the mat. Hands to prayer. You step on the left foot this time. Nice big step forward, pivoting the body, thinking about length. Stay here, testing out your balance, practicing, slowing down your breath. Again, if you feel like you want to test out your body and balance, your flexibility, opening up the body. Maybe you want to come into your standing split. And joining the feet if you're in your standing split. If not, coming back towards the back of the mat. Okay, so next posture I'm going to do is your standing head to knee. So there's lots of variations for this. First and foremost, just take a second to resettle the body. You're going to bring your weight again into your left leg, slowly lifting your right. Now you want to bring your right leg parallel to the floor. I can't see if I'm even parallel. Maybe flexing that right foot. So this is where you're going to start. Here. This might be challenging enough. Balancing on one foot is not something that we do every day. If you want to push your balance a bit, you're going to come here, trying to keep that leg not lifting, not dropping, keep it up there. Keeping that left leg nice and strong. This might be challenging, this might be a push for you. If so, well done. If not, you might want to practice interlacing the fingers under that foot. I have a habit of doing this. You want to keep that body long. And then, by the way, if you're practicing the first few postures, feel free to fall out and just try again. And maybe you're coming into a standing head to knee. I might fall over, and that's fine. So lifting that leg, interlacing the fingers, keeping that leg. Here we go. Here she goes. And then maybe once you've got your balance, you want to extend that leg. And if you can, bringing those elbows down. Thinking about length and releasing. Give that left leg a bit of a shake out. I'm just going to check what people are saying. Hi Shah, love you. Okay, so we're going to try and practice the other leg now. So weight into your right foot. Sorry that I keep fiddling with the mat, it just keeps slipping on this carpet. Weight into the right leg, peeling that left leg off the floor. Trying to get that leg parallel to the ground. If that's challenging enough, keeping that right leg strong. If not, round down, maybe staying here. Or maybe interlacing those fingers under the feet. Under the feet, yeah, that's right. And then kick as if you can, kicking that leg out parallel to the floor. It's very hard to talk. Got a bit more admiration for people who are good at talking in postures. Maybe bringing those elbows with a flexed foot beneath the leg. And release. Maybe taking a second, taking a sip of water. Don't take too much water. We are going to do one more balancing posture. Let me check what my time is. And then we are going to come and do some nice floor stuff. I like getting on the floor. I should actually not stay too long on the floor because it makes me want to stay there. We're going to do a tree pose. I think this is quite a common pose. When people think about yoga that haven't done it, they often think about this posture or variations of this posture. Taking a second to get my breath back. Should feel quite fired up. I hope you do. I hope you feel energized and not knackered. It can be quite tiring. It's very tiring talking what I would normally do. It's very strange, but I'm enjoying it. I hope you are too. So, tree pose. There are options here. I said balancing postures are quite difficult. So, you want to try, if you can, to bring the right leg. Now here is absolutely fine. It's a balancing, it's practicing your balance. So If you can't get your leg all the way up here, tucking that heel into the groin there, then below the knee, don't go against the knee, ever. So if you can't get it above the knee, keeping it below the knee is absolutely fine. Hands to prayer if you can. You might need a bit of a wobble. If you can, get that foot nice and high. You want to push that knee back, encouraging the hips open, keeping them level, so you don't want to, I don't even know how to go there, but you don't want to be like this. So just take a second to practice your tree pose. If your practice is lotus, which is when you turn the foot, feel free to take that now. Just take a second to try and see where your body's at. We're going to come into a toe stand. If there's anyone who regularly practices yoga with me, the second round, just taking a second. If you've fallen out, try and get back in, that's absolutely fine. And then slowly releasing, settling the body. Weight into the right foot. Again, if it's here, two sides of the body are very different, so you might have found you get your foot up here the first time round. Always remember to try and push that knee back. That's opening the hips. If your foot is down here, that's absolutely fine. If you're wobbling, that's also fine. Please don't fall over and hurt yourself. I'd be very upset to have encouraged that. And again, if you do want to take your lotus, it can be quite tricky to change between the two, so maybe one hand, maybe finding your second hand, keeping that right leg nice and strong, and settling the body. Nice deep breaths. Okay, we're going to do either side again. I'm going to practice a toe stand. If you don't feel like you have to join in, it's something I actually really enjoy. It's something I like to practice all the time because I know I'm good at it. And I think with any practice that we do, anything that we know we're all, well, I say good at, this is where I fall out of it. I enjoy it. I can do it on a good day. Some days I can't. Let's try. So, weight into the left foot, lifting that right leg. It's nice to be slowing down now. We're going to get onto the floor in a second. Just stretch out our spine and we'll be done. So remember, tree pose might be below the knee or above the knee, never on the knee. If you'd like to try a toe stand with me, maybe coming into the lotus, lifting one arm, pushing that knee back, keeping the hips level, and the other one. If you feel strong here and you want to test yourself, you're going to lean the body, and as you come parallel, bringing the hands to the floor for a bit of support. Then you're going to bend that left leg, and the heel will raise, hence the toe stand, and then testing the balance, bringing one hand, and then the other hand. And I really have to focus here. You might want to stay there for a bit longer. I'm going to come out because I'm talking. Coming back out the way you came if you did practice a toe stand. And recentering the body to practice on the other leg. If you are doing toe stand, any of the variations, if you need to come out of it, I mean the aim is to obviously stay in it, come out of it, come back in, that's absolutely fine. So, bringing the leg into your tree, wherever your position is, pushing that knee backwards. Remember, no sharp pains, no shooting pains. Nothing should make you feel like there's a burning sensation in any of the joints. Maybe bringing both your hands to prayer. Or if you're going into a toe stand, bringing that body parallel to the floor. Finding the floor for some support, bending that leg into your toe stand. Maybe one hand will come off the floor, maybe even for a second just to test the balance. And focusing, and breathing, and relaxing, and coming out the way you came into it. Oh gosh, maybe giving yourself a little bit of a wriggle, getting that blood flow back into the knees. And now, guys, thank you so much for joining me if you have. Take a quick sip of water. We're going to go onto the floor and just Try and calm the body down. Try and relax. You're going to find your child's pose first. So child's pose can be done with the legs, knees together, or the knees wide. I'm going to do it knees wide. So you want to bring your legs out, and your body in a child's pose. You want to think about your bum or your lower spine staying towards the floor. So you don't want to come up here. It's about finding that length. Hands nice and long. Lengthen that lower back. And just staying here for some breaths. It's always really nice when you come back to the floor, especially in positions like child's pose. You can breathe really deeply. So just enjoy the feeling of the lungs expanding. And then slowly rolling yourself up to all fours. And take a few rounds of cat-cow. So you want to extend the neck, the chest, the head to the ceiling, pushing your bum up in the air as well. I think it feels really nice to be in this position after trying to balance. And then when you breathe out, you want to contract everything the other way. Maybe focusing on your navel, or your groin, or your knees. And then breathing nice sigh out again. And finding the ceiling if you can. And once more into an angry cat. And then slowly back into neutral. So we're going to come to our bums now. Slowly ease yourself. I'm just going to move this off the screen. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to leave you there because you might topple. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so, sorry. Come to seated. We're going to do a little wide leg stretch, forward fold, seated. Your legs might be here, might be here. You might be in a full split. Try and keep your knees towards the ceiling. Don't over-rotate if you can. Don't overstretch. This should be calming your body down. This might be enough. If you want a bit more, you might gently ease the body down. You want to keep length in the spine here. So not curving here. You think about the head coming in front of you. You may be able to get the chest or the head to the floor. If you can't, that's absolutely fine. Your own body does its own thing. Maybe you just want to hang out here for a second. I could stay here for quite a long time after yoga. I'm not going to though. Slowly easing yourself back up. I'm bringing the left knee to your groin. Arms above the head. Now you're going to twist your body towards that left foot. So your body is facing towards, nice spine twist. You're going to bend this leg, interlace the fingers, round the back of the foot if you can. If you can't, these are where you're aiming for. Don't push the body, don't force the body. It doesn't do it any good. Encouraging it is one thing, forcing it is a different thing. So you want to get your head on your knee here. If you can, you're going to slowly lengthen out your leg. This might be enough. If not, you're going to use the weight of your head to push your knee down. Flexing the foot, if you're very flexible, you want to be lifting that heel off the foot, keeping the body trapped over that leg. Stretching out the left side of the body. Slowing everything down. And release. And we're going to switch legs. So again, arms above the head, interlacing your fingers, twisting that body over, give your spine a nice twist. It should be nice and warm. Bending that leg, hands over the bottom of your foot, head to knee, and pushing that knee down if you can. If you can straighten the leg, then great. If you can flex your foot and lift your heel, then fantastic. If you can't, that is absolutely fine. And release. I'm going to put our legs, maybe hug yourself. Well done is always nice. Legs out in front of you. You're going to get the right leg, cross it over, foot near the knee there. Keeping that foot on the ground. You want to keep your hips on the floor here. This actually might be enough. Just, if not, you're going to raise your left arm. You're going to turn around towards the right. You want to keep the spine upright here. Your elbow is going to go next to your knee just to give yourself a gentle encouragement round. Feel a nice spinal twist here. Go really carefully. If you haven't done these postures before, should feel a nice little stretch. Do not force it. Do not push it. If you can, encourage the body round. If you feel long, if you feel that that is your normal practice, I like to try and keep my chin over my chest at the minute. Some variations you would look over that right shoulder just for a bit more of an intense twist. I'm practicing trying to keep the head and the chest in line. And release. And switch legs. Arm overhead. Just a gentle twist. Slowly encourage the body if you feel that's available. If you want to, looking over that left shoulder, remember, try and keep the spine upright. You're not folding down, you're not bending backwards. Nice and straight, strong spine. And then coming down onto your backs, which is always very nice. I find this would be a Shavasana whereby you just release into the floor, arms by the side of your body, taking a second to appreciate all the support the floor gives you. You're going to bring your right knee to your chest, give it a nice hug, gently ease it maybe over to the left side of your body. Don't worry about getting the knee to the floor, it doesn't have to. Trying to keep that right shoulder on the floor. Maybe turning the right head to your head towards the right. And then back into center. And the left leg comes in, hug your knee into your chest. You want to come around the rib cage here, so don't pull into your rib cage, around the rib cage and then back into the body. So you're not crushing your lungs. And then gently easing the left leg over to the right side of the body. Maybe looking over the left shoulder. And then from here, bringing both your legs in, giving yourself a nice hug. You might want to very attractively tuck that chin in, give yourself a nice double chin. Think about the lower spine reaching the floor, give it a nice stretch. Thanking your body for what it's just done for you. And then slowly release again. And that would be the end of one of my yoga practices. Slowly ease yourself, roll to one side, slowly into seated. I'm going to shuffle myself forward and see if anyone has said anything I might need to answer. I really appreciate anyone who's joined me today, anyone who's joined in. Thank you for dealing with my nerves as I first began, because it was quite strange to jump out of my morning routine and into this room and there being complete silence. I have got no music on because I think my focus is just all over the place today. So I hope that you've managed to take a second, whether you've just watched it, whether you've taken part. I hope you've enjoyed it. This is a complete free preview into my yoga practice or class if you've taken it yourself. If you do want to donate to the Fuel Girls, we are accepting coffees. I think there should be a link somewhere. Yeah, I can see it pinned. You can support us by buying coffee. Obviously, at the minute, we have no performance work as we can't do large gatherings. It's a really strange time for everyone in the entertainment industry. It's really bizarre. If you do want to show your support, maybe thank us for taking class. There's no obligation, but you can go. There's a link in the comments here and buy us a coffee. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me for some yoga. If you've taken it, I do hope, or you joined me with it, I hope that you feel calmer. I feel completely different. I'm dreading maybe seeing the first 2 minutes of this video. We have a aerial conditioning class with Josie tomorrow. That'll be at 10:30 a.m. I'm not sure of the schedule off the top of my head. I will be doing more yoga practice, different postures, going through them. So if you'd like to learn any more, practice with me. I find practicing yoga is so helpful when I know what somebody else is doing it. I do a lot of online classes. So if you want to practice with me, hang out with me. I will be doing it again. I'm excited to see Josie's. Obviously, I enjoyed Von's HIIT class. I think she's doing some more soon. So keep an eye out on our schedule. Take care of yourselves. I hope you have a lovely afternoon. Thank you so much again for joining me. Link for buy me a coffee is in the comments. Thank you so much, everyone. I need to work out how to turn this off now, which might take me a while. How do I do it? Maybe I should have practiced this before. Oh, there's a finish button. It's that easy. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely day. Take care of yourselves, both in here, and in here. I'll see you again soon. Thank you.